series of steps that we had to apply, such as prepping for cabling, hardware cabling, software installation, testing and troubleshooting, complete testing, troubleshooting, and we basically had to give our client a monthly update to let them know the status of the project, so that way they weren't feeling as if they're wasting their time or money. Next on our Gantt chart is the Long Beach location, which is our old school location, the one that needed to be retrofitted, the one that was just basically dinosaur, if you will. It was running on IPX. That's old system or old network protocol. So here, basically the same steps are followed as we did in Pomona. Basically met with our client, gave them the rundown, purchased the products for the installation, and then basically began the cabling, software. And with this in particular, what we do at AKA, once again, is customer service. We're not going to implement a system into a building in which that you don't know how to maintain or take care of. So what we added into our project here was basically training the employees on the software. You want to have somebody on site to first be able to maintain your system before you would have to give us a call, so that way you can save time and money overall. So as we said here, this all pretty much took the span of another month to complete.
Basically, like he was talking about earlier, we had training plans. Basically, these training plans are for the managers of each location. We set up for each training plan. Basically, the first 3 days was learning how to basically troubleshoot and use the software and the hardware. So basically, if they had minor problems like connecting to the internet or connecting a wire, they could do it without having to worry about us going over there and them paying for the extra money. The last part of it was basically just troubleshooting. Like I said, just trying to find small problems that they can fix, or if they need to call us, we can give them a step-by-step let's say, guide on how to do it without basically paying extra money, which is what we're trying to look for. And basically, those all happened during the times that we were doing it ourselves. So they were right next to us, always learning with us.
So here, this is basically the service cost summary of basically everything that we provide to our client. This is basically our breakdown of cost, hours, and implementation. Here, we're 120 cabling hours, which broke down to $35 an hour to $4,200 for that situation. 102 hours for hardware configuration and installation, $35 an hour, came out to $3,570. Software network installation and configuration, $50 an hour, for a total of $8,700, leaving you a subtotal of $16,470 for the Pomona location alone. Following that was the Long Beach location. For the Long Beach location, the hours were somewhat different because different implementation per that process. Cabling hours for this was 144 hours because it was a new building. Once again, the numbers stayed the same as far as the hourly price, but the bottom line was $5,000, $800 difference. 96 hours for the hardware configuration and installation, $35 an hour, about $3,300 roughly, and 126 hours here for the software network installation and configuration. The difference in between these two is because this is in a newer building, you need to go ahead and apply a little bit more time and effort to get that to work fully. Next is our help, tech, and support package. What we offer here is remote access, $59 monthly, call it $60 if you will. Call support, which is about $30 a month, and on-site tech support as well as on-site backup. Now all of these are available to us, and once again they're paid monthly. So as long as you're paying your bills, we can come out and help you out. If you're not paying your bill, we can talk. Other than that, we pride ourselves on tech support, and there's not a problem that we can't fix. You know, like the man upstairs, like, hello, there's nothing wrong with the software, you just need to hit delete. If you want to answer your prayers, hit send. Pretty simple. Here is I'm sorry. Excuse me? I'm hardware cost, I'm sorry. It's me. It's me? Okay. I apologize. The hardware cost right here is basically as such. It comes out to about $20,000. We got everything to be a little bit more cost effective as opposed to being expensive because it is a small family dentist. We didn't need to be, we didn't need to have top of the line. We just needed everything to work optimal at a minimal price. So as you can see, we have a slim tower here, model laptop, office jet printer, printers all over, and we have wireless broadband. The prices, once again, are pretty much minimal because you can find some of these products to be upwards in about $3 to $4 to even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on what type of apparatus you choose to use. location. And so basically everything comes out once again to $20,000, keeping it well within the budget.
Okay. Basically, let's talk about backup and disaster plan. Basically, what is it? Basically, it is in case something does happen to your computers that you lose your information or that you can't access it. Basically, for instance, you have this plain simple laptop here. All of a sudden, something like this happens. For instance, you have a warranty on your hardware, but what about all the programs and all the information you have on it? Basically, with the backup policy, we'll guarantee that you will have all the information back. Basically, with us, we're basically having two types of backups. We're using a third party called SOS, online backup, and we're using our company. Basically, we're using incremental for the SOS because it is a fast backup. It only backs up the last incremental and the last full. So if you lose something real quick, they can access it back to you, so it's all ready over there for you. For instance, something like this happens. You need a system restorer. You want everything back that you lost. Basically, this is what we come in. Basically, we're using differential. So basically, that means the last differential and the full. So basically, it's a giant wad of data that we're going to be putting back to your PC so that you can get back to work and have all the client's information that you like.
Here is basically what the client is most interested in and concerned with, which is the return on the investment, the ROI, so to speak, in abbreviation terms. As you can see, it is roughly going to take 4.5 to 5 months to return the client's investment, and the breakdown is as such. The gross annual cost for this project was $50,000. As you can see, that for the Long Beach office, the monthly income is $12,000, and almost the same for the Pomona office. The operating costs are $6,000 for the staff, rent, so forth, or she owns the building, so there is no rent. Therefore, that she can go ahead and take this. Out of that, she still has about $6,240 that she can put away for savings, which is how she's going to see the return in the 4.5 to 5 months per building for the project.
Okay. Okay.
Any questions?
I have a very quick question. I'm sorry, can you go back to the slide that shows that the new network configuration, network diagram? Yeah, that one. Okay. I noticed that on your hardware cost summary list, you're going to set up 5 server towers. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now here, I can see on Pomona location you have 2. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Basically, we kind of shorted it down, basically saying the server's on there.
Okay.
Basically, probably the server's going to have more than one property on it.
Right.
I was saying I didn't want to fill it all up on the server, so basically I made it kind of basically.
So basically on the, I kept the theme basically, right?
Basically, it's the word of the day. Basically.
Primarily, originally. On the either side, the router, DNS, DHCP, I would say there is a server that is configured for that purposes, right? And the same thing with the Long Beach location. And then you're going to probably have another one for the other admin purpose. I think I can see that. Okay, I just was a little
Basically, why I put that there is because Verizon routers right now give you routing, DNS, and DHCP. So basically, it's set IP. All you gotta do is configure it yourself so that it allows you.
Where are the other 3 servers configured for? I mean, what is the purpose for that other 3 servers?
Basically, it's gonna be mostly for a file server. It's gonna keep all the information that they have. Because right now, let's just say they have a room about this big full of paperwork, and they want to go green. So basically, with that, it'll put all the information on there, and they can access it. Basically, we're using the servers more for a backup and information retrieval more than actually like using the services.
Good, okay. So, all right, I think Robert? Yeah. What about the SOS, you said online backup service? How much would that cost?
It's going to cost $666